If you play the character Wickerbottom, the granny, she's really good because she doesn't need like science machine and stuff. She can just make stuff, but then she can't sleep in the tent, which sucks.
Oh,
It's
I
like the only
can't
character who
imagine
can't sleep.
surviving. Oh, sad.
Yeah. Hi, hi.
Okay.
I miss having space, all that space. What was on fire? I think the pneumatic went off because of fire. Did you see a fire here?
No?
It was like going off as if something was on fire. It's so bizarre.
Sorry.
You doing okay?
Yep, I'm doing fine. Oh, there's another walrus, and penguins are attacking it, apparently. Oh, and it died. Oh
What's wrong?
no. My Abigail triggered it.
Triggered the penguins?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'll have to kill it because it's keep triggering. Why did I do that? Do you want a Tamo Center? I got another one.
Sure.
Let me just put this in the refrigerator. Oh, wrong one. Alright, here you go.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. I said thanks, but I didn't. I realized I didn't push any buttons, so you can hear me.
Oh, that's fine. Well, I guess the penguins kind of got annihilated unexpectedly.
It's okay.
And we got a lot of eggs.
Yeah. Oh no, I leave buttons. Go back up. I need rocks. I'm gonna go to get some rocks somewhere.
Oh no.
What's wrong?
Stop triggering stuff! You know, maybe if you weren't triggering stuff, you wouldn't be dying.
She'll poof. Temporarily. Not permanently. Yeah. Just like click on her with your cane, and she'll like hit her like as if you're attacking her, and she'll go away.
Well, she survived with 60 HP. Yeah, now don't go spinning on me, please. Like, no. So, I'm missing rot and a stinger thing.
There's a stinger somewhere in the desert because I found one and I dropped it along the edge of the desert because I was opening tumbleweeds and one appeared.
I see.
So it's there just somewhere along the edge of the desert. I'm gonna go get some rocks for us. He's going to the washroom.
No problem.
I scolded him for not saying anything though. I'm like, you just leave and take off and you don't even say bye. Terrible man.
I gave my Abigail the healing thing, and it's just healing, I guess.
Oh, cool.
The reward for killing all the spiders.
She's good at it, right? She's good at killing the spiders, I find.
Wait, a little too much?
I know, especially at nighttime, she just annihilates them. So you never have
But
to worry about dealing with her.
if you leave that spider web place, doesn't it become like a spider queen or whatever?
It can, yeah. And then we run. I'm gonna go get some rocks in a moment because I forgot. Oh, because I can make a cage for my little elephant.
Nice. I need more rot and stinger.
Oops, I feel bad because I accidentally woke them up. I made them scared. Do you think we're ready to fight claws soon?
Um, I'm not sure. I definitely need booster shots still.
Oh yeah, you probably need that first. What are you still missing?
Huh?
What are you missing still?
Oh, Rot and Stinger. I'm gonna go ahead and make a sewing kit though.
Sounds good. I'll get you the stinger. You get yourself the rot. You can get rot by like getting those things from underground and letting them expire. I just found a rot and a pig ate it before I could pick it up. He just like walked over to it casually and he's like, "Oh, you need rot, huh?" And then he just gobbled it right in front
That's
of me. He
funny.
waited for me to get close to it and then he ate it. I was like, "Sure."
That's funny.
That was a tease.
My sewing kit. Is
Thanks.
interesting.
Kid frog.
I'm waiting for the speed. Our connection.
You tired?
No, I'm not tired. I think you're just hyped up with the game.
I think yeah. I mean, it's been a while. Yeah. If you get bored of it, though, we can always switch to something else.
I'm hoping my mom won't.
Sorry?
Oh, that's nice. I'm hoping my mom will get mad at me.
Oh, when we stay up late? She's home tonight? We always play music there or something.
That's true.
I don't know why this doesn't get old for me. Even though I do this all, like, not all the time, but like every time I play DST again, I end up doing like kind of the same thing.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was saying like it's so strange because like whenever I play this game, I always do the same thing, but it doesn't like it doesn't really get old for me. And I don't know, maybe because I don't do it like because it's always like there's always long breaks in between it. But like I always find it like fun.
That's true. Alright, well, I think I will get off.
Sounds good.
Hopefully we can play more later.
Alrighty. Good night.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, wanna play some video games? I know I do. I haven't seen the sun in years. So, let's play League of Legends. Sound familiar? It should. It's amazing. And it's free. You can afford that, right? If you had friends, they would already be playing it. So why aren't you? Jump on in and make some friends. Here's how it works. You start by picking a champion, and there are a lot to choose from. Found one with cool abilities, but you hate his stupid face? Don't worry, you can play dress up with various skins. If only my pirate could be more anime. Now that's what I'm talking about. Once you actually get in-game, the real party starts. It's non-stop epic action, and there's strategy too. Just look. Use whatever you can to destroy your opponent. Swords, bows, magic. Team, still having trouble? Well, just head to the shop and buy something. I'm sure your items are to blame, and not your innate lack of skill. There are 5 different roles for you to master, and with over 100 champions and 200 items, well, do the math. That's like 1 billion combinations. I'm serious and bad at math. If you're a casual, that's cool, that's fine. You'll fit right in with all the other noobs. But if you seek a challenge, look no further. This is your chance to prove yourself and unleash your inner greatness. Work your way up the ranks as you master your champion. It's about self-improvement, but instead of something stupid like life skills or a career, it's League of Legends. Priorities. Just think of the glory that awaits. You can be a part of this massive community. People care about this game. Remember caring? I haven't felt an emotion in years. Look, what I'm trying to say is, League of Legends will change you. So what are you waiting for? Quick! This video's almost over. Don't waste any more time. This could become your favorite game. New players are joining every day. Don't let them leave you behind. The fun starts now. League of Legends. Download and play today.
Hello and welcome to the Ultimate Survival Guide for Beginners. Now Jakey, you're not a beginner, you speedrun all the bosses. Well, this is true, but also in this run I'm going to pretend that I am a noob. Now first I need to explain what this guide is going to contain. Well, it's going to contain just about everything for a beginner, so someone new to the game, to survive an entire year and don't starve together, and to survive indefinitely. So first I will say this game is lots of fun when you have no idea what you're doing, but if you're sick of dying, then you can watch this video and you'll know how to not die. Now, I'm going to make 3 different survival guides. For beginners, intermediates, and advanced. This one is for beginners, so I'm assuming that all you want to do is survive. You don't want to kill bosses that you don't have to, and yeah, you just want to survive. And so rather than just giving you tips and telling you what to do, I played through an entire year pretending I was a beginner. So I'm following a few rules, like not killing bosses that I don't have to, and my main goal is just surviving and doing things that make surviving a little bit easier. And I'm not doing things that are too hard. So that is why the video is so long, because we're going to be watching through an entire year, and I'm going to commentate over the top of it to tell you what I'm doing and why. Now before we jump into the game, there's a few settings that we need to change. So the most prominent one is lag compensation. If you want to be able to dodge enemies very well, you need to turn lag compensation off. What this does, it shows you where your character really is, whereas if you have lag compensation on, your computer just kind of guesses where your character is, so you might take a hit from an enemy when it looks like you shouldn't have taken a hit from an enemy. Also just get familiar with the controls, so WASD to move, E and Q to rotate your camera, F to attack, and spacebar to interact with items, such as picking things up. Also, you might want to change the backpack layout to integrated. This puts your backpack below your inventory rather than to the side of your screen. And lastly, we're definitely going to want to disable distortion and screen shake. Now, distortion makes your screen all distorted when you're insane, which is really annoying to look at, and screen shake shakes your screen whenever there's like a boss or an earthquake, and it's just completely unbearable. It shakes your screen so much. Now, let's talk about mods very briefly. I'm not a fan of mods that make the game easier, so if you install some mods, just be careful, make sure you're not relying on them or anything. But saying this, I do have some mods that I would recommend. In the description there is a link to a collection of mods that I use sometimes, but the main one that I think everyone should use is geometric placement and snapping tills. It makes placing structures nice and easy, and it makes farming a little bit easier. So it all starts with the world. So I'm going to be using default settings because that's what everyone will probably use, and as for mods, I'm only going to be using a few client mods, all of which just mute annoying sounds or get rid of some user interface which gets in the way. All of the mods are linked in the description. And now we choose the character you want to play. I'm gonna pick Wilson because Wilson has no upsides and no downsides. So anything that I do as Wilson, you can do with any character. So ultimately, you should pick the character that you enjoy playing the most. But if you're still not sure, I would recommend either Wilson, Wendy, Willow, because they're all pretty generic characters, except Wendy and Willow have their own basically self-defense systems. So the day has started and I luckily found some gears on the floor, so we're only going to grab one just for an icebox later. A tip in the early game is just avoid fighting, because fighting is a quick way to die. Now since you're a beginner, you don't know how to avoid dying. You have 3 status bars in the top right. The heart is health. If health hits 0, you will die. The yellow one is hunger. If hunger hits 0, you will start starving, which causes you to take damage, and eventually you will die once you run out of health. Now the brain is sanity. If you run out of sanity, you don't die, but shadow creatures creatures will start spawning if you get to low sanity. And these shadow creatures can attack you, do damage, and therefore could kill you. So ultimately, what does this mean? It means while you're running around, the things that you absolutely need is a light source to keep darkness away, a weapon to fight anything so that they don't kill you, some armor so that you don't take as much damage, and some food so that you can heal and not starve. So if you ever feel like your inventory is quite clogged up with too many items, just remember you only need 4 items to make sure that you don't die, which are the 4 that I just previously mentioned. I'm killing some butterflies because if I do take some damage, butterflies heal for 8 health, which is like very good early game healing. You need twigs, grass, and flint to do a lot of basic things in the game. So generally, you want a full stack of twigs and grass, which is 40 of each. And flint is used to make tools, which you'll need to do everything basically. Otherwise, we're gathering food so that we can eat that when our hunger drains. And with a normal character, your hunger drains at a rate of 75 points per day. For comparison, 75 hunger points is the same as eating 6 carrots. And hey look, we found Chester straight away, that's nice. Chester is basically a portable chest, and we will be exploring for the first like 8-9 days of this world, so he'll be nice for extra inventory slots. And hey look, a wormhole! So if you find a wormhole, jump through it. They'll basically teleport you to another part of the map. If you find one really good wormhole, like a wormhole that takes you to the other side of the map, you can just base near that wormhole and then you have access to the other side of the map. But we're going to discuss base location later when I actually place down my base. Now this particular wormhole took me to a desert. I can tell that it is the Dragonfly Desert because the cactus are more round. And in this Dragonfly Desert, there are tumbleweeds that spawn, which is really good for giving grass and twigs. And they also have a rare chance at giving you other things like gears, gems. So if you come across the Dragonfly Desert, just go around the edge of it because that's where tumbleweeds will get stuck. Search the tumbleweeds, you'll get lots of grass and twigs and probably get at least 1 gear. Also, while you're exploring in the early days, if you see seeds on the floor, make sure to pick them up. Farming in this game with seeds is really good. It's one of the best ways to get food, so make sure you pick up seeds. The way seeds spawn is when birds fly away, they have a chance to drop some seeds. Now here, I spotted a boss. We're not going to be killing this boss in this run, don't worry. We are beginners, so we're not going to kill bosses. Here is our first instance of combat. So as you can see, I did 2 hits and then I dodged. So I was pretty confident I wasn't going to get hit. With most enemies, you can get in 1 or 2 hits then dodge, but it changes for each enemy, so you should just experiment. But in general, avoid combat until you have armor. So gold is one of the other essential things that we're looking for. You can always tell whether a rock is going to drop gold because it has gold veins flowing through it. Wait a second, do you see that little arrow on my sanity meter? That arrow indicates that my sanity is slowly draining. But why is my sanity slowly draining? It's because if you look at the clock in the top right, it's evening time. So in Don't Starve Together, there are day and night cycles. The yellow indicates daytime where you have no sanity drain. The evening gives you a little bit of a sanity drain, and at nighttime, you get the same sanity drain and it turns dark. And if you stay in the darkness, first of all, you can't see anything, and second of all, you will be attacked by Charlie. Charlie does a lot of damage if you stay in the darkness for too long, and you can tell when she's going to attack you because she'll make a really loud scream and then hit you for a bunch of damage. So what does this mean? This means that you always need light. The most basic form of light is a torch. A torch is just, you can make it with 2 grass and 2 twigs and you just carry it around and it is enough to keep away Charlie. So I see a lot of new players make campfires and sit around the campfire all night. This is kind of a bad use of time because you're just sitting there not doing anything. So it's way cheaper to make a torch because you don't need logs and you can just continue exploring at night. So yeah, make a torch and continue exploring at night. And in this run, I actually use a campfire once and I don't even use it for light. Another tip is don't be afraid to light trees on fire. Trees respawn naturally, and so you burning down a couple of trees isn't a big deal. And trees burn for a long time, so as you can see here, it's providing a massive radius of light for free because I'm not using up my torch. But be careful, fires in this game do spread, so if you're going to set fire to a tree, set fire to a tree that isn't close to any berry bushes or anything else that you don't want to burn. And hey, good job, you survived your first night. So we have twigs, grass, flint, gold, and the next thing we wanted to find are pigs. And here we found a nice pig village. Pigs can generally be found in any kind of forest, or the deciduous forest, which has an orange turf that we'll see later. You can tell what kind of biome you're in by looking at the turf under you. So a light green turf is usually a grassy biome, which is very friendly. There's usually lots of food and not a lot of enemies. The forest turf will have spiders and pigs, and we'll talk about more biomes when we encounter them. So I chopped down a couple trees to make a science machine, and as you can see, there are a bunch of new recipes that I just unlocked. So I made a backpack and a shovel. Backpack just gives you more inventory space, but it takes up your body body slot. So we're going to chop down a few more logs, then we're going to make a log suit. This is your first piece of armor. This piece of armor will reduce any physical damage you take by 80%, but the armor itself does have a certain amount of health, so eventually it will break, and you can tell because it has durability. Now, let's talk about some pigs. So the reason why you want to smash down these pig houses is they give a lot of good resources, which basically speed up the early game. To smash down a pig house, you just need to make a hammer which requires 3 rocks, 6 scrap, and 3 twigs. Here's some turkeys spawned. If you drop 1 berry on the ground, that'll make the turkeys ignore you and try to go for the berry. So it's a really easy way to kill them, because while they're distracted with the berry, you could just hit them twice with your spear. Pigs don't get mad at you for smashing down their houses, but if you attack one pig, all of them will get angry at you and all of them will attack you. But pigs don't like darkness, so as soon as the evening starts, the pigs will go home so you can fight them one at a time. So here I beat down a butterfly and I got some butter. Now butter heals for 40 health, so you know, if you're damaged, save that butter for later. It also takes a very long time to spoil. Now let's talk about spoilage real quick. You can tell an item that can spoil because you can see the background of that item is green. Once it gets stale, you get less nutrition from the food, and you can tell it's stale because it will be called stale and the background will be yellow. And when the food is spoiled, you'll get not a lot of nutrition at all, and it will reduce your sanity when you eat it. This is another point which I see players trip up on. You should only gather like what you need. A lot of people will waste time gathering too much of a resource, like cutting down way too many trees than you'll ever need to use. As you've seen, I've only cut down like 3 trees. But anyway, the reason why I'm burning down this forest is because when you chop down a burnt down tree, it gives you charcoal, and charcoal you need to make a crock pot. A crock pot is essential. If you don't use a crock pot, you're not going to survive very long. A crock pot gives you access to a bunch of food recipes which are very good for hunger, healing, and sanity. So yeah, we want about a stack of charcoal, so 40 charcoal, and 1 tree gives anywhere between 1 and 2 charcoal, sometimes 3. And you saw there for a split second, I took a little bit of fire damage, so if you stand next to a fire for more than like 1 or 2 seconds, you'll start taking fire damage. This is noteworthy because fire damage stacks, as in, if there's like 10 burning objects near you, you take 10 times the damage. So yeah, don't stay near fire for too long. Now as you can see, the outside of my screen is glowing orange. Now usually you naturally overheat during summer, but because there's so many burning trees around me, I'm actually overheating already. If you overheat too much, you start slowly taking damage. But it's autumn, so the world temperature is not very hot and also not very cold, so you shouldn't take any overheating or freezing damage. Now I'm gonna pop my armor on because it's evening time, so it's time to fight pigs one at a time. So pigs sometimes run away from you, but if they start running away from you, just stop chasing them and then chase them again. As you can see, I'm doing 2 hits and then I dodge. And there we go, just like that. But in case I mess up, I have the armor there to tank 80% of the damage, like I said before. If you attack a pig with other pig houses around, you can imagine the pigs as looking out their window, because as soon as you break their house, they'll be angry at you and start attacking you. And that's because from inside of their house, they saw you attack a pig, so therefore they are aggressive to you. So you can break down the house. If you're quick, you can hit them once and then dodge, but just to be safe, just dodge their attack, do 2 or 3 hits, then dodge again. And don't forget your armor. Now that we have destroyed all of the pig houses in this little forest, we're going to pre-craft a crockpot. Now I'm going to explain what pre-crafting is real quick. So as you can see, a crockpot is a structure, but I just spent the materials to make it, but I didn't place it. And you can cancel placing a structure just by crafting it and then right-clicking. This basically stores the structure in your crafting tab until you want to place it. And I made 2 electrical doodads so that I could pre-craft an alchemy engine. An alchemy engine is like an upgraded version of the science machine, and you need a science machine to make the alchemy engine. And now it's nighttime, but I want to fight, so I'm going to light something on fire and then kill this piggy, and then we're going to collect up all of the charcoal. And just like that, we have a stack of charcoal. And are you collecting your seeds? Now here I find a living tree, so we're just gonna chop it down. This gives you a special kind of logs which you need for some magic recipes, which we will be using later. So we chop it down for 2 logs and then use your shovel to dig up the 3rd log. Now here, let's practice some fighting versus some spiders. Now you can see that this spider nest is very small, so you can actually stun lock a spider. So if you just keep attacking a spider, it will never attack you. But when there's multiple, you do need to dodge. And if you don't want to fight more more than one spider at a time, what you can do is simply stand on the edge of the nest to aggro one spider out of the nest, and then lead the spider away from the nest and then kill it. Because if you fight the spiders on top of their nest, all of the spiders inside the nest come out and attack you. Now since we're beginners, we're not going to be going to the ruins this autumn, so we have to dig up graves, because graves give you a lot of good things. They can give you gears, nightmare fuel, but most importantly, red and blue gems. It can also give you trinkets, which are like the weird little toys which we can collect and give to the Pig King later for a lot of gold. But be warned, every time you dig a grave, it drains your sanity. But don't worry, since soon I'm going to show you an option to restore your sanity. Now here, put on my armor, I start attacking spiders. Now if you look, I have 5 spiders coming at me. But you can see when they launch their attacks, their hits register right at the end of their animation. So right as they're finishing their animation, I step back just a little bit, just to get out of range, and I didn't take any hits. Now there is a reason we're killing spiders, so
meat, which is very easy meat, which you can use in the crock pot, and spiders can drop silk, and when you destroy their nests, they also drop silk. Also, later on in the game, if you have a forest full of level 3 spider nests, it becomes like very dangerous. So we're clearing them out now when it's easier. Now if you've watched my speedruns, you know what we're looking at just there. There's a guard